I had a flare-up with an oldish but ongoing Achilles injury. To deal with it, I increased my training. Sounds like a stupid idea, but there's method behind the stupidity. So there was 3 key points. 1, I was only 3 weeks out from the half marathon. Number 2, the increase in training was very targeted. And number 3, I'd already taken a week of easy running just to let that tendon settle down. Being so close to the race, I only had a small opportunity to get my fitness back into the game, and I was going to make the most of it. But would increasing the training make the injury worse? Well, yes, if the training I did aggravated that Achilles, and that's the key to it. So this is how I did it. Number 1, I cut out the training that aggravated the injury. Number 2, I increased the training that didn't aggravate it. And 3, I incorporated more training and methods that improved the Achilles tendon. So I cut out what aggravated the tendon, and that included tempo runs, really fast runs, so faster than 5 kilometre race pace, hard hill training or repetitions, plyometrics, and really slow running, particularly long runs that went for an extended period of time. So the training that I increased is what didn't seem to aggravate the tendon itself. So that included my critical velocity intervals. As long as I maintained good form, that didn't really seem to aggravate the injury itself, and I was getting some great fitness gains with that. Also, secondly, is my easy running was at a relaxed, easy pace that wasn't stupidly slow. And again, form came into it as long as I was up running tall, having that spring in the stride and keeping it nice and relaxed. That's where I increased the kilometres. And the targeted work for the Achilles tendon? Well, strength training in particular, so calf raises, single leg calf raises, where I dropped the weight just down a bit from the really heavy stuff that I'd been doing, but I also made sure I didn't go to the end of the range of motion. And the idea of that is if the Achilles tendon gets compressed at both ends of the range of motion, so I reduced that a fair bit and just worked in a narrow range. That by itself seemed to make a great big difference, and really after those sessions over the next day or two, my calves and Achilles felt $1 million. Also targeting it was a fair bit of foam rolling and self-massage, really working on the calves, so the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscles. Of note, I took my warm-ups very gradual. Started off with fast little pitter-patter type shuffle and just gradually opened up the stride as my body felt ready for it. No session, no speed was ever forced. The whole idea of most of the running was to keep it relaxed and keep the form.
As it turns out, keeping something a little bit in reserve on your key workouts can be very beneficial. So I was hoping to get these sessions out to 6 times 2 kilometres, maybe even 7 times in preparation for the half marathon. But given the flare up on the Achilles and finding the other means to keep the volume up, it's a bit windy, I've kept it at 5 times 2k. So it's still 10 kilometres worth of solid work, and at a pace that will be faster than race pace too, so it should work. For the key workouts, there's 2 really important concepts that go a long way, and they are number 1, intensity discipline, and number 2, total workload discipline.
So for the Kilcunda Half Marathon, it's an 8-week training block, and over the first 5 weeks I averaged about 60 kilometres a week. My initial plans was for it to be higher, but it didn't work out that way. This approach that I've just taken has allowed me to go up from that 60 kilometres a week and bump it up to 90 kilometres is what I've done now in this week. And to be honest, at the end of this week, I'm feeling great. The training seems to have gone well. I'm feeling fit. The Achilles, yep, there's still a few warning signs there, but they're reducing. They seem to be getting better about every 2 or 3 days. It almost seems ironic that I was able to increase my training substantially and make the injury feel a whole lot better. Now, have I got it right? Well, time will tell. A couple more weeks of training after this and I'll be down there at the Kilcunda Half Marathon, and the proof will be how I go on the day and how I pull up. So stay tuned for the future videos where we get to see if this approach has actually worked. In the meantime, keep on running and let me know how your running is going.